Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Team Fortress TV. We are live here with the first round of playoffs of the ETF2L. I always say that wrong. Season 40, and it's going to be the League of Shadows versus the Frenchies. My name's TCMano, joined by Just Jazz on production and Dave as my co-caster. Dave, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward to this game. Should be a good one. They played last week, in fact, so we already had a kind of a precursor to this game. And it was really, really close for basically all of it. The last kind of 5 minutes or so, there was a brief period where League of Shadows kind of ran away with it and got a couple of quick rounds. And that was decisive in them actually making it through to this playoff stage. Because it wasn't a balance for quite a while, because of how close a lot of these teams have been. But yeah, if last week's game is anything to go by, it's going to be a very, very close one.
Well, that is exciting to hear, particularly because Reckoner is on the menu tonight, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. That is going to be map 3. The maps for tonight are going to be Process is map 1, Sunshine map 2, and then lastly Reckoner map 3 if it gets to it. But just in case you're kind of new to what's going on right now, maybe you haven't been paying attention all season, we're going to run down the rosters for y'all just in case. So I guess I will take away the League of Shadows. It's going to be George or Jorge on Medic, Deli as your demo, Troy and Scar as your soldiers, Flick and Eusti are going to be the scouts, and if you want to take away the Frenchies, Dave.
Yeah, it's going to be QB and Neo, the scouts, Duo and Rons are going to be the soldiers, Alien on demo, and Patchouli on Medic.
Yes, and so I'm a bit new to this. This is probably the first full match I will have caught these in, but instantly first map Process. So I obviously think about off-classing. I think about sniper. I think about going for those unexpected plays. Do you know if any of those teams like to run those off classes, Dave? Are they kind of more partial to busting out the sniper, to try and break those holes? Are we going to see more standard 6v6 lineups, do you think?
Pretty much, I think we'll just see the classic kind of sixes classes for most of the game. Occasionally it might slow down. There might be one of these scouts goes sniper, but other than that, I don't think there's a lot of off-classing potential in either of these teams too much. I think last week we didn't see a spy at all. We only saw a little bit of sniper. So I'm not expecting to see a hell of a lot of off-classes, to be honest, from these teams, but look out for some headshots.
Yeah, it should be good in that case. Obviously, I like to see those off classes, but if it's going to be more standard 6v6 composition, that is also really good. And I guess probably the other thing is to maybe talk a bit about these teams kind of history. Obviously, they went the last time they played, but in terms of like their general standings going into this playoffs race, like how do you think that that last showing was accurate or representative of like their best abilities, or do you think that there's potentially a favorite coming into this match, Dave?
I think it's actually going to be very close, as we say. There's not a lot to choose between the teams, and they've been up and down throughout the season. So, for example, the Frenchies, they ended up getting 2 points off Royal Electro in week 1, and then they ended up losing to Tio, who ended up being the bottom place surviving team. So, they've had some good games and got some points where perhaps you wouldn't expect them to, and then they've also had some games where they've dropped some points you wouldn't expect them to. And we've had this sort of rock, paper, scissors scenario, as the people pointed out last week, the casters, where, some of these teams have, beaten each other, have beaten one of the teams and then lost to another team. That team is then beaten. So it's been very up and down season. A lot of teams dropping some points where they probably shouldn't have. But yeah, not too much to choose between the teams, to be honest. If I have to based on what I've seen, I would say maybe give the slight edge to League of Shadows. Perhaps they have just a slightly higher potential, but I think it is mainly just going to come down to who plays better today.
Oh, that is good to hear. Hopefully, it's going to be a fairly even game then. So, on to the first map Process. We already said don't expect too many classes, but regardless of that, we were talking about these teams are fairly even. Or amongst the teams, who do you think are kind of like the standout players to watch. For me, instantly, the names I kind of recognize from across the pond, so to speak, are going to be like Neo and a QB, or names that have kind of reached over here, and I think maybe have been in Prem a bit longer. Could be wrong on that, but I definitely recognize a bit more of the Frenchy players. But who would you say on both teams really are kind of the standout or the playmakers to watch for this series?
I think you're definitely right to point out Neo's kind of the top guy. He obviously won Prem last season. I think he's probably got more experience in kind of playoff games than the whole of League of Shadows combined. So that could be a big factor. League of Shadows, they have a lot of sort of newer players, whereas most of the Frenchies have been around for a while, although they've kind of been on this kind of mid-prem French team, a lot of them. Neo's really the only one who's kind of excelled and played at the very, very highest level. So yeah, he's definitely the one to look out for the Frenchies. And League of Shadows, I think it pretty much always just comes down to Delhi. He's kind of the linchpin for the team. We saw kind of last week he was struggling on a lot of mids. He was getting picked off really, really early, a lot of mids, and that was a big factor for why League of Shadows struggled on some of those mids. But, also he put out close to 400 DPM on that second map of Process, and particularly
Wow.
the last few rounds, he was just hitting so much stuff that it really turned the game around to them and clinched them this playoff spot.
That's pretty impressive then. You're just pumping out a casual 400 DPM, and we were back on Process, so a repeat performance would obviously be incredibly beneficial for his. And so yeah, interesting to hear about Neo maybe being kind of a more a veteran, so to speak. I guess hopefully trying to lead his team to victory here, and yeah, I honestly think that from what you've said right now, to me, I guess if we go into a little bit of predictions, I'd predict I guess we don't know which team picked which. We only know the map selection, but process, just from what I know, maybe I'm probably biased because I know these players a bit more, would feel to go more in favor of the Frenchies. Just for me personally, even though I think you said Delhi had that 400 DPM on it. Just from I think when I saw the Frenchies last time, not sure if it was the same roster composition. Uh, I feel like they did well on Process, and I think Neo's just a good scout. Process, great scout map. That he's just gonna have a field day running around, catching that 300 DPM, and just doing well. I don't know. Would you agree? Do you think this map particularly favors the Frenchies over a Habib? I mean, no, League of Shadows, or do you think it's a pretty even as far as map selection goes across the board?
I would think, just based on how last week's game went, I'm going to refer to it again and again and again because I think it is so relevant. But based on the fact League of Shadows did win Process, as I say, it was close for most of the game, but they kind of blew them away in the last couple of rounds. I think that leads to the fact that if League of Shadows do work out the mids, they are favourites for this first map at least. But we'll have to see because we're getting into it, looks like.
Yes, we are going into the first round, the first map, League of Shadows versus the Frenchies. Gonna be watching a Ellie on the rollout right now. Gonna be rolling out just through choke a bit earlier than a Alien Smiley, just by a little bit. Getting some good early damage as the rest of the Frenchies walking through choke, but that's not going to deter them. They're each going through their O sign. A huge bomb coming in right now. Going to be trying to land onto the demo. It's not connecting most of the damage. Now the collapse is finally coming in. It's only Alien and QB alive right now. Actually, no, QB goes down. Yusti versus Alien. Can he get it? Getting some good spam right now. He's got to have one of these pipes connect. One does connect. And now going to be trying to play the high ground right now. Yusti maybe even just buying time for this to come in right now. And looks like Alien might just back out through sewer. Actually, no, looks like maybe trying to stay in. Wait for those spawners. They do have ROMs. And D-Well going to be fast rollout a little bit through the choke. Yeah, that is going to be Duel, but now the spawners as well from the side of League of Shadows also coming in. And I think they do have a bit more positioning. The Frenchies are going to be trying to muscle their way in here, actually. Looks like they do get a bit of space, but yeah, with QB going down, it looks like, yeah, Neo is well stuck in. They are going to have to back up. Pitch going down as well. That's disaster right now as everyone on the side of the League of Shadows just flooding in right here. And Dave, that was an extremely long mid fight. that has kind of solidified into a really great position for League of Shadows.
Yeah, they did really well. I mean, Alien did as much as he could, but already they're looking to take it straight in. They're already on the point, only the heavy up on the class for the defense, and that's going to be a quick round. It was a super long mid fight, but they converted into last super quickly and immediately go 1-0 up.
Yes, really great stuff. That was, it's just in an instant. League of Shadows were able to capitalize on the Frenchies staying in a bit too long, but we're going to head into the second one. This time, going to be watching Deli. Arrives about the same time as Illy and Smiley. Just going to be spamming those jokes. Once again, both teams each rotating right side, similar to last. Just going to be trading that spam. Looks like Soldiers going to be trying to aggress Troy, making a bit of space, but not really collapsing onto anyone. That is going to be Scar flying super high in the sky. Looks like, yeah, Neo was a bit over percentage, but he does manage to fight Scar for his troubles in the collapse right now from the Frenchies. Looks like they are going to have to leave through their IT right now. Everyone on the League of Shadows, we do see the Soldiers trying to chase. That is going to be them just collapsing right now. They do manage to find Jorge. Really good stuff from D-Wo and his soldier buddy. Ron's with the escape plan out, just going to be dying, maybe running out of ammunition, and the tides have turned, and a really great response mid-win from the Frenchies right there, Dave.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these rotational mids nowadays in Prem. On several maps, but Process certainly one where they've gone for it, and it means it's very decisive. The minute goes down, and now there's 100% here for the Frenchies.
Yes, they've now used to Uber onto last, getting some really great point time, actually. A lot. They just need to cap it up. The action over going to go for the frags instead. Only one player alive. Jorge actually getting medic pick with the crossbow, but it's not going to be enough. You can't expect a medic to take that 1v5. So it is going to be a tie game right now.
Yeah, that was smartly played. They walked in 4, they baited the point a little bit, made people dive for it, and then you saw how they all guided to the left-hand side, all played in a blob and just converted the easy frags. I just got on the point after they got those frags. Very easy, well played.
Looks like they're going to be trying to go aggressive, almost locking Alien out into his sewer. Can't have much space now, finally, with the rest of his team coming in. They are going to go, but the huge bomb from Duo onto Deli going to be taking out their demo, so now the space has gone into the favor of because they have a lot more, and you can see the League of Shadows basically trying to get out of here. They do lose UC4. Ragu's so low right there. Does manage to get beamed up. I think he was on 1 HP, and now they're just going to be flying forward, just chasing them all the way out right now. But they do die because of a chase, actually allowing the League of Shadows to stay in here on second. I think the Frenchies should be able to cap up this point if they manage to deal with Scar in behind. The Soldiers fly in. Oh my god, getting some nice stickies off on the patch. That's going to be him going down. Can Neo do anything? No, Troy is going to be taking him down. And what was looking like a really great mid-win for the Frenchies, they just chased a bit too hard there, Dave, and League of Shadows were able to completely get back in on them.
Yeah, it was very brave play. I expected them to go back to last after they'd lost their demo and lost a guy on the retreat as well, but they held it in. They held their position. They put the heals as forward as they could safely be, and they just picked off the overextenders, and the repush when Deli spawned was super impressive.
Yes, it is. So now we are going to be on a last hold for the Frenchies right now. Patch doesn't have, but the Uber is used on the scout demo through 3. Troy does fall in the Uber, so not really that great right now. Just finally taking down the gun. It is going to be Deli kind of getting airlifted by the heavy. Neo putting in some work right now. Not a lot of cap time on the point either. He is going to be trying to go on and getting some early cap time. They have a lot of cap time on the point, actually. And that is going to be a slow but nonetheless successful last push for the League of Shadows. Looking a bit dicey there. They did get much in the beginning, but they were able to take it away, just whittling down their defenses there, Dave.
Yeah, I looked for a second that they weren't going to do it. They had to deal with their buffed heavy. They had to deal with the medic coming close to Uber. But then Scar just bombs in alone. What looked for a desperate attempt for the medic, but just nukes everyone and they're able to push off the back of it. So that was really all on Scar.
Yes, it was, and you can see if they maybe this time the Frenchies have a bit more successful mid. Huge soldier bombs coming in onto all of the Frenchies. They were kind of stuffed in that choke, but the counter bomb right now from Ron, he is going to get on the patch. Really great stuff with the help from Scar, but it looks like that's still going to be a successful win for the League of Shadows. Still alive right now in the Frenchies. It is going to be Alien and Neo. They're kind of stuck in their sewer. Looks like they are going to be, Neo going to be maybe buying time to help Alien out of there so they don't lose their demo. Both medics did go down, but still a bit more dominant win from the League of Shadows there, Dave.
Yeah, and you can see again, Scar seems to be really feeling it. Waiting until his team got positioned in a high bomb into choke. He's played with Jorge a lot in the past, so it might be a fact that he knows that Jorge likes to kite backwards. He expects him to do that more than try and surf forwards or play more in his team. But he absolutely called him out, just a really high bomb deep. Jorge tried to kite it back, but the bomb was just so deep, it was easy to get on him. And, after that, fairly easy for them to clean up. A little bit of a messy DM fest, but all the position made, and he was removed from the equation. It was kind of easy. They haven't got an uber advantage, but they do at least have mid, so a launch post for some sacks perhaps.
Yeah, looks like they tried to push the flank, trying to get Troy in through IT. He does fall. Scar falling as well. I didn't see where, probably by choke or sewer. So now that was a sack. So a two-man play right now coming out for the League of Shadows. Going to be trying to hold this right now. A huge bomb coming in from D-Wo. Get through IT, but Force does get off. So now they're going to have to try and get out. They do have to use onto Alien. He was a bit low there in that choke side area. Going to be bombing forward, going to be trying to make as much as they possibly can off the back of this Uber. But to be honest, it looks like as the respawners come in for the League of Shadows, they are going to have to give it up, but the collapse is just coming in from the League of Shadows. Everyone dying on the Frenchies patch, just giving up. I think almost just kill binding right there. And that was a really great play from the League of Shadows, basically baiting in that exchange and knowing that they would have the faster respawns to take advantage, and they're just already on last right now. QB is not going to be able to do anything, and that is 3-1 in favor of the League of Shadows.
Yeah, we've seen this from them in the past, and when they do this kind of blob plays, they just got all 5 men together, throw kind of flank plays or anything out the window, they're not even watching those flanks, but they're just so fast with it. They just blob all 5 players into the choke and just absolutely destroy the focus. It's excellent. The timing is amazing, very, very well synchronized, and they're now 3-1 up, so it's looking good for them for sure.
Yeah, as we see here on this mid, it really seems like the League of Shadows is just getting to mid faster. Majority of the time, they've been able to stuff the Frenchies in their choke, and now the Frenchies are going to have to leave. Alien going to be trying. Oh my god, he gets a nice on the deli for his troubles, and he lives. That's incredible. So now everyone on the League of Shadows is actually dying. I'm not quite sure how they managed to swing that in their favor, but the Frenchies coming out on top in this mid, which was initially looking pretty poorly for them right there, Dave.
Yeah, similar to the first mid, Alien Smiley just jumping himself out of mid. He had no business surviving, but again doing a great job, and the pick onto Deli obviously turns it right around. Deli's only just coming up now, doesn't have stickies ready. They're trying to kind of muscle it in through choke before the stickies get there, but the thing better of it is, even Ubers, there's a long time still left in the game. It is 3-1, but there's only 10 minutes been played. It's been breakneck pace, a lot of decisive mids, a lot of kind of decisive last pushes. I don't think we've seen one failed yet, so it's still to go forward. Great play so far.
Yes, as we do see the soldiers trying to make some space. That was Ron's bombing in to make space for D-Wo to sack. He does sack. He doesn't find much of anything. Looks like Troy be peeking this IT area, trying to see if he can get anything, but, he doesn't want to commit his life, or maybe it was just a distraction to allow Scar to go in, but he is going to be taken down almost instantly. The counter bomb immediately from Ron's going to be trying to get on them. Knows that they were in that IT area. Troy as well pressuring that choke, but he is going to stay alive. So a little series of soldier deaths going out right there. Nothing being done quite so far. No, a good rocket. Oh, if that air shot had hit. Good attempt from Troy, but not managing to find it on the patch.
Yeah, very close. Very nice surf from Patchouli. Would have been quite easy there to get stuck on the corner. He was so close to a lot of different kind of blockers that could prove costly, but just perfectly leapfrogs over all the crates and everything. So just a great job. Very close with the rocket from Troy. Can't quite find it. Doesn't change too much. QB down at the moment gives perhaps an opportunity for them to throw another sucker in from the League of Shadows, but at the moment, we slow down, and this is something we see in playoff games quite frequently in the past. It can be breakneck for a bit, but once it does get important, once it does really get to crunch time, teams do like to slow down just a little bit.
Of course, of course. A lot on the line, especially during playoffs, and we do see the slowdown in full effect as QB has gone sniper in this sewer area. I don't think they know because he hasn't taken a shot just yet. Now the shutter door has been opened, so they should know. He hasn't eaten out the shot, but they should have spotted him with their eyes. Not really taking much shots, just going to be peeking right now. Looks like while they're all put in sewer right now, everyone on the side of League of Shadows just flooded through choke. Not quite sure how they let that happen. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication on the side of the Frenchies. Now they have to use to retake or deny this backup. So much cap time on the point. The Uber coming out as well from the League of Shadows right now. Looks like they do have a bit better positioning, and they're going to get that. So maybe the respawners are going to be in their favor. Essentially a 5v5 right now. That is going to be Alien Smiley jumping forward so far. Going to be getting onto Jorge with the help of Neo. Hopefully they can try and keep Patchouli alive. So low right now. That is the scout trying to get on the patch, but Demo flying in high. Can he get the stick to connect? No, they do clean him up. And that was a really great play from the League of Shadows. They weren't able to hold on to it. So working out basically in the favor of the Frenchies, but that was an extremely chaotic exchange right there, Dave.
Yeah, very, very brave play. In fact, just, committing to the rotation, committing to sort of a back cap. But when you do a play like that, when you do a blob up play, you kind of need to nail those flank classes. If you get a couple of picks on the flank, it's slam dunk. But because they lost Delhi and they lost, I think it was 2 for 2, ended up being much, much tougher for them to negotiate the position. And in the end, the French were caught short slightly, but they secured it anyway.
Yeah, it looks like this Uber has been used leading it forward, but Jorge almost on his own Uber right now, and a pretty poor, that went pretty poorly for the Frenchies. So now, like, League of Shadows are going to be trying to take their Uber in through lower IT. They don't have to use a soldier bomb trying to get that force. It does come through. Ron's is going to be taken down. Looks like everyone of the League of Shadows just trying to muscle their way in here without having to use, if at all possible, some good rockets coming out onto Alien Smiley. But it looks like QB has gone in behind, tried to go for the back cap, but there's too much point already on second to deny that. So he's just going to be peeking around. Some good soldier bombs at that choke side area. They looks like that was D-Well going in for maybe a desperation play on the Jorge, but no, this Uber still 100%. Looks like they are going to be trying to take it in through choke. They might have to use here, but the Uber from Patch is really close. They can try and defend this if they buy enough time, but they don't have their demo, they don't have duo, so it looks like they are going to back out here and just set up for a second hold.
Yeah, really impressive for the League of Shadows. You could see they were just super, super aware of the fact that despite all the chaos and the repositioning that happened, they were super aware of the fact that Dwo was behind. And as soon as he jumped in, they just all turned around and shot him, and they were just completely on the ball there.
Yeah, soldier sack coming in here as a Neo fragging out in the server, apparently on a 10 kill streak right now, so he's having a good time regardless of what it is. But Jorge goes down. Extremely good sack from the side of D-Well is gonna land that, and everyone on the side of a League of Shadows is just falling. Deli going down to a really great job, a really great pipe from Alien Smiley, and Ron's now going to be pushing in through the sewer area. Another going down Scar as well, only 3 up. I think one of them is a respawner as well. So a really just huge disaster right now for the side of the League of Shadows. They are forced back to their second. Luckily, they did get their respawners up, but I don't think that try that hard to deter the Frenchies from coming in here on the second, Dave.
Yeah, they are trying to move it through, but you can see how well played that was by the Frenchies. They've seen that IT hadn't been held super close through most of the game from League of Shadows, so Dwo had some space. They just baited them in choke, put a lot of players choke, turned a lot of attention there, and Dwo just with a nice little low bomb, perfect onto Jorge.
Yes, and now it's going to be a really great attempt from the side of the Frenchies here. They do have full Uber ad to use. Jorge only on 80%. They still haven't taken down the gun yet, and not much cap time on the point. Finally, the gun going down. Ron's basically bombing to commit onto it. Looks like they are maybe trying to go for some picks instead, getting only 1 on the skull, and this is pretty disastrous for the Frenchies. It is just going to be Patch and QB alive if they can get out of here. Looks like QB is in a actually no, looks like QB in lobby right now, gonna be trying to go for a play, but no, he's gonna be taken down from the side of Flick, allowing Patch to successfully get back out to his team. What went wrong on that last push? They had the full Uber. Did they just not find the frags?
Well, if you want to go through one, you generally want to go through pretty quick, or you want to go through the kind of main choke point without using, and they had to use super early. There was level 2 sentry gun, I think it was, the other side of the last point, so they really had to strain to get themselves over there. They ended up getting split up, and it was very easy. I think it's either a case of if you're going to use that one push, go fast, or scout it out, see that there's a sentry gun, and go from 3 or 4 probably.
Rawns is just doing so much work here, just bombing choke and getting that nice pick out onto Troy, allowing him to go forward through. It looks like the Frenchies did try to take advantage of the fact that Delhi was down a bit briefly. There was a soldier on the side. Frenchies getting that nice body shot out onto Delhi, but at the end of the day, things are gonna stalemate out a little bit, as it looks like Delhi gonna be holding that sewer, which is a bit unique. I haven't seen many demos on the side of a NA do that, so maybe that's just a European centric thing, but still looks like they are gonna be flooding this sewer side area, gonna be leading Delhi through, but maybe they think they have ad, but they don't. That is gonna be Delhi going down for his troubles. A demo sack of sorts. And I'm not sure, did the League of Shadows think they had Uber ad there, or was that just a sack play I don't know about?
They were definitely setting up some kind of play. I can't imagine they thought it was ad, because there was no real reason for them to think so. But they tried to set up a play, but it just didn't work. The soldier just came straight in, denies it. And they're already muscling themselves onto mid. They've got so many players on the high ground here. It's going to be absolutely impossible for League of Shadows to fight it. They've got a lot of weak players as well. Just one soldier going in Scar, but yeah, I think he does get air piped and cleaned up nicely by Rons. So at the moment, the Frenchies have suddenly turned to the ascendancy, but they are a couple of rounds down here, and with just over 10 minutes left, they need to get a move on.
Yeah, that was a pretty poor Uber there from the side of the League of Shadows they used while they were and they were just too far away to really get any kills whatsoever. So now the Frenchies have 100% Uber. They really need to try and start converting these 100% Uber because if they want to get back even on the score right now, still 3-1 in the favor of League of Shadows. They are going to be using 3-4, instantly taking down that gun this time. Going to be trying to clear off the point to get some cap time about halfway, but now the Uber is already coming back from Jorge. They built that extremely quickly, and Delhi getting 2 picks onto Patch and Rons. Now they are going to be pushing the Frenchies out through a lower lobby right now. Really great stuff from them. Looks like maybe a few attempts at backcapping the scouts in that party room of IT, be trying to cause as much chaos as they can, but QB going down, and now Neo is gonna get the heck out of there along with Alien. And once again, these Uber pushes aside of the Frenchies on to last, not doing what they need to do to get them back into this game, as now everyone on the side of League of Shadows just gonna be flooding in. I think the Frenchies may have overextended their welcome just a bit too much, and Yap is gonna go down just because of that, and everyone else on the side of the Frenchies going down as well. Really great collapse and just aggression from the side of League of Shadows to just recognize that they had ad and the Frenchies were a bit overextended there.
Yeah, they knew they just had a slight man advantage, and they really made the Frenchies pay for it, just flooding in through choke, really bullying them out, cleaning those frags nicely as well, chasing them down. Brilliant focus fire, just everyone focused on the same target, shooting them together, just really well played, and they've got a last push now.
Yes, but Uber is used through 1 onto the demo and Scout Flick, trying to get a bit of cap time. He's got a lot of cap time, actually gonna commit to it, but the stickies are finally dead right there. Looks like Alien trying to do his best, but the other demo's behind him. He gets Tana kill. Oh my god, and that is another round for the side of League of Shadows. 4-1 in their favor, and definitely showing their dominance right now.
Well, that's one way to take out the sentry gun, just Delhi going on solo Rambo mission through secret area, getting behind, just nuking everyone. They weren't aware of him at all. Just gets a lot of players, shoots them in the back, and ends up getting the gun, getting a lot of the defenders as well, and cleaned it up. They're able to repush very, very easily, and now it's 4-1.
Yes, basically 10 minutes left on the clock. A huge bomb coming in, trying to get onto Alien. Alien does crater, so fairly successful, but everyone else on the side of League of Shadows kind of dropping. The health is pretty poor on their side, but Patch as well at 40 HP, just any amount of damage could just come out of his fight. Looks like they are successfully wrapping League of Shadows right now. Oh my god, and the collapse from the soldiers, Dewo and Ron. just getting on Jorge and Deli. Really great stuff from them just to take them out as they were trying to escape through IT. And a bit of a long mid fight, but still successful for the French. That is what you need to see if you're a Frenchies fan and you want to see them come back in here on this process game.
Yeah, just very, very nicely done by the soldiers at the end. They knew they were trying to leave IT and just didn't let them, just waited and waited and waited, bombed at the perfect time, beautifully synced as well. But all it came down was to truly live with a sliver of health, and that was decisive.
Yeah, but Uber coming through for pretty good right now. They haven't managed to find much aside from the sentry gun. Just soldiers bombing high. Get onto Jorge. Jorge does get that bandy bind off just in time to respawn. And another successful hold from the League of Shadows at Uber disad. And I think the real thing that's just keeping the Frenchies from coming back in here on this game right now, Dave, are just for last pushes. They really need to work on converting them when they have full Uber ad. This time looks like they are just hanging around and choke a little bit, just going to be trying to peek and prod, but they're a lot further out than they were last time, so they shouldn't lose any players. But the Uber is used very aggressively here, going to be used on the demo and scout to just try and chase these players out as much as they possibly can. Patch going down. That's disastrously great stuff from Deli to collect those kills. QB as well, 3 down on the side of the Frenchies. Can they get Alien? He is going to die. Going to be taking down Deli for his troubles, but really 1 for 4, basically 5. Not what you want to see. Dewo is stuck in this last side. Aaron, they're already on the point. That is going to be 5-1 for the side of the League of Shadows. They just put the pedal to the metal, and I don't think the Frenchies were expecting that aggression.
Yeah, they're like a ravenous pack of wolves. When they smell blood, they see they have a couple of advantages. A couple of players just slightly overstaying their welcome in mid, trying to provide some distraction. But as it was, just all the players just put their heads down, charged forward, and just used the Uber straight in with just one guy on the cap. And they cleaned up enough frags so it was very, very easy for them to take the round off the back of it.
Only 7 minutes left, and if you're the Frenchies, you really need to start getting these mid to last kind of wins right now. Dewo going down early in the mid. Now what you want to see, looks like Yusti trying to get onto Rons. He was so low in that IT area. He's going to be walking it off with his escape plan, going to be picking up that pack. Now, QB getting a good pick onto Troy, who's bombing around and is going to be taken down because of it, but it looks like they don't have the positioning, they don't have the health. Alien going to be going down trying to choke, and looks like the Frenchies are going to be trying to stem this aggression from the side of League of Shadows, but they don't have the players to really do it. Ron's going in right now, trying on to Jorge, possibly if can. They do use the Uber. However, Patch is still in here on the mid. Looks like it's going to be a successful escape from them. They do have some players, Acklines, to try and take care of. Scar is going to have to win against QB and his med. Deli right now going to be trying to take this fight. Oh my god, he gets a pipe up on the Patch. Can he connect the other one? Doesn't. So honestly, a good mid win for the side of the Frenchies. A bit long and very scrappy, but at the end of the day, a mid win is better than nothing. It's like League of Shadows wants to try and fight this a little bit, but that is going to be a solid mid win for the Frenchies.
You say solid, but I think scrappy was perhaps more accurate. Some nice moves from Patchouli at the end of that. But yeah, unconventional play from the Frenchies, really, for the first time we see. But this is an unconventional play as Spy.
Oh. Yeah, not going to be getting anything. I like the timing from Scar. I definitely wouldn't have expected it, which is the best time for Spy. But the Frenchies going in super deep, not even have to use their Uber whatsoever, but Jorge as well. They've been doing really well to build these Ubers extremely quickly at it. It's been catching the Frenchies off guard, I believe. Rons is going to be going down. They do have about half cap right now, but I don't think it's going to be enough. All the players falling, advantage in the side of a League of Shadows, and they are just going to be falling one by one. Looks like Patch is going to be just trying to go for some little desperation play. I think he knew he wasn't going to be able to get out of that. And once again, you know, the last from the side of Frenchie's not working out right now, Dave. I think that's been the thing that's been hampering their attempt to get back into this game this whole time.
Yeah, for sure. I think they've actually probably now had more advantage pushes onto last than the League of Shadows have, but I think League of Shadows converted every single one, or maybe they only found one. But the Frenchies are suddenly started really struggling. It just seems the focus fight isn't quite there. They go in, they don't really know exactly what they want to shoot at. They're not, blobbing up, they're not putting themselves in the same position. And, you can see it once more, QB just running in alone. The soldiers demo Alien comes in eventually. They do get the force out here, so a nice play. Followed up, not beautifully synced, but nicely followed up. And Alien Woods 4 actually manages to launch Jorge out of there, but the Frenchies continue to press forward. They're on quite low health. Alien's going to get cleaned up as well here. But at the moment, League of Shadows seem to have held enough position that they can continue to fight. They might think better of it.
Yeah, looks like they are going to back up to last. Really great just fight from the side of the Frenchies to take that. They were just throwing bodies at that second point repeatedly, and they were eventually able to cap it up. Ubers are in their favor, so they are going to have another chance at last push. Looks like they are going to be walking through a 4 right now. Going to be using immediately. They take down the sentry gun. Pretty early this time, but Jorge, well, is going to be up on that 100% just right now. Probably isn't going to even have to use as Flick comes out with a nice headshot on the Alien. They do use, I guess, maybe for the logs because there's only 250 left on the match time right now. So this is pretty, I think it's pretty much a win from the side of League of Shadows. I don't think it's possible for the Frenchies to come back in, but at this point, it's just about recollecting that mental, getting back in, and kind of preparing for that next map. As we see Alien going in for a huge bomb on the League of Shadows, not finding anything. Ron's going to be bombing out onto Delhi, getting that pick, but a D-roll on the sniper. I think it's almost basically just garbage time for these teams. A bit of an extended garbage time, but I think if you're the Frenchies right now, you just really want to try and get one round, Dave.
Yeah, they want to, I think, put themselves back in a slightly better mental position, but at the moment they are struggling. Both scouts try to contest it, they try to get down to Hawaii, some damage, but certainly not enough to clean up a frag. Woe is going to go down as well. He had picked up the sniper for the first time, but at the moment just guns blazing for League of Shadows. They want to chase them into mid here. They've launched them out, picked up Neo as well. Alien's going to just get launched in as well, and Uber's coming in. It's going to be a much better Uber here for the League of Shadows. They're going to clean up a couple of players and probably chase them into second as well, but yeah, very much garbage time now.
Yes, it is, as we see QB making a little play onto it. He's going to be taken down basically immediately, and I think that is going to be the final scoreline. Maybe a 6-1 if League of Shadows can convert this last round. Oh my god, Yusti just completely melting Alien right as he went through that rollout area. Might get a sneaky pick onto Ron's. He doesn't quite know. Oh, Ron's going to be able to take that one. So a bit of a better of the stat lines for them. Patch going down as well to Troy, and just a bit of chaos all over right now. Scar waiting for the arrow, going to be taking it up. As I think it's going to be really up to right now if the League of Shadows can get this last round. Would obviously be a lot better for the can. They do use the Uber, a lot of cap time on the point right now, and they are going to be able to head it up. So at the end of the day, a 6-1 for the League of Shadows, and definitely very strong showing for them. It was still scrappy at a lot of points, but I think watching that, you would say that they're the more dominant team, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact it's a win limit and it is a 6-1 is perhaps slightly flattering to them. I think it was nip and tuck. Both the teams played pretty evenly across most of the map, but as you correctly pointed out, the last pushes were very dominant for League of Shadows. They were absolutely clinical. They were getting a lot more position, focusing their targets a lot better. They had a lot more idea exactly what they wanted to do. Good solid play from the Frenchies through a lot of the map. The League of Shadows were really coming out with some nice kind of unusual plays, catching them out occasionally. But it really did come down to the last pushes, and I think for the side of the Frenchies, they just have to hope they move on to a different map. They move on to Sunshine, and hopefully this is a map where the last pushes will be better for them.
I definitely agree. Looking at the logs, looks like Delhi is going to be your top damager at 332. Flick right behind him at 321, just pumping out that DPM, and it also kills as well, going 31 and 10. So Flick having a really a time. His scout partner Yusti as well, 30 and 8. So both the scouts on the side of League of Shadows just having a very great game. Alien on his is going to be leading in the DPM department at 316. probably what you'd expect from the demos, and it was a fairly back and forth game, so not a lot of downtime in that respect. So, yeah, as you said, I think the last pushes were really what got them, and so hopefully on Sunshine, they are able to walk away with a bit better execution on them. The mids as well were kind of going back and forth, basically about even in terms of who capped it. But a lot of times there were caps that instantly went the way of a different team, just to one team overextending to try and chase players, or kind of like a little flank back cap play going on the mid. So these mid fights have been fairly chaotic and scrappy. So I think if one team can walk away with a bit more cleaner or decisive mid fights, that will definitely help whoever it is. Hopefully, it's the Frenchies, so we can see a third map. But for them, getting those clean mid fights, and especially just really converting those last pushes, I think, as you kind of said, would be helpful for them on Sunshine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've got to. I think they've got to, not be too down as well. This is obviously best of three. It's a long game potentially. It's one map. They've lost it pretty convincingly, but as we say, just a couple of changes here and there. If they had got the last push a little bit better, would have been a completely different story, I think. And they've just got to stay in the game, keep their head in the game mentally, making sure they're just different map, have to have a different mindset, and you know they definitely have a chance here. They played it pretty close. I think the soldiers particularly were really impressive when they were synchronized and coordinated. That was where a lot of their good stuff came from. So Sunshine is a map where soldiers can have a little bit more success, I think, than Process, a little bit more favourable to them, particularly on these mid fights. So that's perhaps the soldier play might be a launch pad for the Frenchies to get back into this.
Yes, I definitely agree that, soldiers, especially, amidst taking control of that bell tower and just like going through those high bombs. We might see some last bombs, but both teams have readied up almost immediately. So this is going to be the second map of the League of Shadows versus the Frenchies. I am going to be watching Deli to see where he goes. Looks like actually going to be doing the lower rollout. You don't see this too often in terms of NA. Going to be going through Valley, so gonna be trying to protect that high bomb in case one of his soldiers do it. Looks like none of them are. Everyone gonna be rolling out through Valley. You do see Duo hiding in his cafe right now, just gonna be waiting. They do know about it. Troy spotting it out instantly. Yuski as well, gonna be trying to go out onto him. Yeah, and Duo is gonna fall back on his second. So both soldiers, actually a soldier and a traded out, both teams on the opposite side of the mid right now. It looks like that is gonna be a bomb from Troy. Gonna be trying to get onto Patch, but not finding the damage, and everyone side of League of Shadows just kind of clumped up here behind this Tetris, and it's not too good for them. That is going to be Jorge going down, so much better right now for the side of the Frenchies. They just have to keep Patch alive at about 100% Uber, so they can use if things get a bit too dicey, but they won't have to. Going to be taking down Deli. That is Flig already on the NG, and that is a good mid win for the side of the Frenchies, not losing their medic, being able to walk fairly cleanly onto second, and that's kind of the kind of style of play you want to see from the Frenchies right here if they're going to walk away with this map win.
Yeah, certainly. Don't know if it's an immediate adaptation here by the Frenchies, but the scouts, QB and Neo look a lot more in tandem based on that first mid. There were certainly times process where they split up a lot, and it cost them when you have the scouts shooting the same thing, sticking close together but not taking the same spam. Makes all the difference, and they just dominated the mid fight with that double scout combo.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be Ubering in, taking down the sentry gun. Hopefully, I get some cap time or some picks right now. Getting a bit of cap time, a lot of cap time. Actually, Alien going to be falling down as well. But QB going to be trading out off on Detroit. A lot of cap time. They've got so much on the point. They just need to get it. So many players, and they do cap it up. Really great stuff. All the players on League of Shadows were weak there. So it was either cap time or players, and they end up basically getting both. So a bit of a long but still successful last push for the side of Frenchies, and they are going to lead the second map 1-0.
Yeah, that was all Ron's just getting behind. I think he ended up getting juggled a little bit by a bit of splash, but just launched himself in a perfect position where he could just find a horizontal rocket from behind close range.
Sorry to cut you off there, but D-Well going for the fast bomb onto Deli is going to be getting it. Valley Rilla going to be trying to protect against that, but that is going to be D-Wo adapt right now. Looks like the League of Shadows on the aggressive right now, going to be trying to get onto the medic. A good bomb right there, and the cleanup from UC going to be cleaning up. Jolie going to be trying to surf out of there, but not going to be able to get far enough away. QB going to be trying to escape through the choke point area along, going to meet back up with D-Well. Looks like he's going to take the exchange with Deli. Deli really far away from the rest of his team right there. Just a bit out in that valley side area. And he's going to be cleaned up because of it. QB still in the backlines, kind of being a bit of a nuisance, but everyone else on the League of Shadows is going to be able to take second for free. They do have 100% add. It's just a question of whether they wait for Deli to come back up with them on this Uber push and whether QB can pick off any players before they get to that stage.
Yeah, it's smart from QB to know what had happened in the mid. Knew that it wasn't worth desperately going for the medic. Just spawn camping Nelly slowed that down a little bit. It's allowed Patchouli to build up a little bit of an Uber, but it's still a big advantage as we see here.
Oh my god, they're just going to be able to cap up this. So much cap time already. They got in so cleanly through Dungeon. No one was watching it whatsoever. That's just them equalizing it. I think they basically got to the point before they even had to use. And they got so much cap time before anyone else on the Frenchies responded. So really great stuff for League of Shadows, not letting a QB in the backlines distract them from what they needed to do. And that is going to be 1-1 in the second map so far.
Yeah, you have to wonder if it was QB that's meant to look at that dungeon area, but he was in behind, so obviously that ended up being an open flank, and they punished them for it there, League of Shadows.
Yeah, so now we are to see this next spin fight a bit slower so far. Both teams just going to be trading spam going across. Looks like we do have Ron's getting a bit aggressive onto Scar, but Scar's going to be able to hold ground right now, and they just deny them any space. UC going to be falling, going to be cleaning up D-Well, and looks like the collapse from the side of the Frenchies just going to be going to all of these League of Shadows players right now. They are on the wrong side of the map. Oh my god, but Deli and Flick just going to be cleaning up everyone else. That was looking so good for the French, but those two players with the help from the heals are just able to get everyone. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Maybe they had a few sticky traps somewhere. But really great focus fire and just damage output from the side of Deli and Flick right there.
Yeah, I think it was a really good job from Neo to pick up Usti there, who was just jumping around on the high ground. Neo just had used most of his ammo, just had to find a couple of clean shots right at the end. But then, after he had protected his medic beautifully from Usti, he couldn't deal with the rest of the combo, and, well played League of Shadows. They have a chance to take the lead here.
Yes, the Uber's coming in right here, getting a lot of early cap time, really good. They do take the tree, but they lose Neo in the process. So much cap time on the point. They've got to do well to try and defend this. Oh my god, so they're trying as much as they possibly can. So many on the side, but they are going to be able to hold on to it. They do lose their men in the process, so Ubers are basically going to be even. Looks like Jorge respawned a bit quicker right there, so they are going to have a Uber ad. Not too much to work with, but enough that they are able to hold the second point, and that is, a good fast hold from the side of the Frenchies, considering they were down Uber ad. Ideally keep their medic alive, but at the end of the day, they should get up a bit more of a solid defense to stop this incoming push from the Frenchies. That you gotta assume is gonna happen.
Yeah, it is League of Shadows, they do have built themselves a big Uber advantage here. Very, very nicely built by Jorge, just making sure he's got his team around him. So they are going to have an opportunity here to take it in. Then moving in through the left side, get the sentry gun immediately. A lot of cap time once more. It does get blocked here by Ron's just jumping on the point. A lot of the Frenchies flooding across. Very, very weak players here for League of Shadows, but the cap is very, very weak as well, very close to getting caps, and they do clean up the frags there. Well played by the Frenchies, but Jorge is going to be able to scamper out super early, so he will get himself out of there, but Patchouli has 100% here.
That was really close from the side of the French. Almost lost that. Patchouli as well, surfing really expertly. It looks like he was taken down at about like 80 or like 85% Uber, so that would have been really bad. He does stay alive, allowing the Frenchies to fly in here. Gonna be trying to get in through that choke area. Troy going in for a huge bomb. Patchouli gonna be taking him down to about half health. Yusti cleaning up Ron's Neo as well, but another soldier from the side gonna be getting that force out on the Patchouli. Gonna have to use many players on the side of the Frenchies super low. They do have a player ad, so they are gonna be able to hold on to this midpoint right now, but Jorge's still gonna be coming up at that 100% Uber. You know they're gonna be taking it onto mid right now. The question is just where are they going to be taking it? They might be trying to go through choke at the very least, but a soldier already flying through. That is going to be Duo on the offensive, going to be on this back lines. Looks like he's going to be taken down from the dual team of Yusti and Troy. Deli going to be taking down Neo as well through this push out onto mid. They did use Uber. They didn't get much aside from the two flank players from the side of the Frenchies. So basically a leapfrog situation that we find ourselves in here, Troy, if the Frenchies are able to hold onto this second while they're down 2.
Oh my god, Jelly gets destroyed by an air shot and then the cleanup from Rons as well, so no demo for this fight. Patchouli's very close to Uber as well, but you can see how aggressive League of Shadows in. They jump in, try to get onto Patchouli. They do get onto Alien Smiley, so there's not going to be a demo man for this fight. They're going to try and get the cap in, but blocks at the very, very last second. Uber comes up for the French. He's going to walk back onto the point. They give up the point. Flick walks back into it. Yusti's on last as well, but cleaned up by Rons. Absolutely on the ball, just spotting the scout. There's still a scout in lower. Flick, he's going to get chased by QB, going very, very weak. Does he get out? Surely not. No, eventually the pincer of the double French scouts comes in, Neo and QB, and it will allow them to walk into second, but they had to use an Uber. They had to get pushed all the way back. So they have perhaps a player ad to push this mid, but it is looking a lot more dicey than it was a couple of minutes ago.
Definitely is. I see the League of Shadows doing their best to try and hold onto this midpoint. Alien gonna be taking down Scar, Yusti, and Deli, getting 2 picks of their own, however, so they do have player ad to work with here, and as you see, the Frenchies gonna be trying to back out to their second, and Ubers are basically even, so they don't have much to really stop this forward aggression with. Yusti gonna be taking down and trying to escape. D-Wo right there is gonna be cratering from the damage, so now pretty good position for the side of the League of Shadows. They are gonna be trying to fly in here while they do have a bit of Uber ad, and maybe trying to capitalize on you to expect the Frenchies to not be set up, but they do have a heavy, and that is going to deny that aggression. Ron's going in for the soldier sack in response, but not finding much of anything, but I think it might have just been a play to allow QB to get onto Spy. Looks like he has gone through. Actually, no. Nah, he's going to be changing back. A little bit of a bait. Going to be switching off on the sniper. Ubers are even, so this might be a little bit of a stalemate as we wait. Oh my god, the instant headshot! Maybe not a stalemate with getting headshots like that. Really great stuff from him. And I think we should expect to see a push out from the side of the Frenchies right here, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the differences between these two teams is the Frenchies are a little bit more cautious. They want to get all their players together. They want to get themselves in a nice position before they commit super hard. You can see the League of Shadows, every time they get an opportunity, there's a slight advantage. They really go in, commit, throw everyone in. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it works, and occasionally it doesn't. It does end up falling flat, but if you roll the dice from a favourable position enough times, eventually it's going to work out for them. And at the moment, that seems to be the way of the League of Shadows. Frenchies had an opportunity to push out with the demo pick, but they just peaked a little bit and didn't feel anything was really happening. So,
oh my god, the drop! Oh, that is just disastrous for the Frenchies right now. A huge bomb from Troy and Scar. Gonna be cleaning up that kill onto Patchouli. I think they got launched by the sentry further into Patchouli, but D-Wo coming in for the flank. He gets a rocket off. Actually, more damage onto Deli than a Jorge. So now this is 100% Uber. It's going to be a miracle if the Frenchies can hold on to this. Once again, coming in through lower, getting some early damage right there on Demo. A lot of cap time right there. Flick just on that point immediately. He is going to be taken down because he was unflashed right there. But honestly, a pretty bad exchange for the side of the Shadows right now. They're just losing all their players. Really great last hold from the side of the Frenchies. I'm not sure how they keep on doing it, but their last holds have been spectacular so far. And every scenario where you think should have lost it, they've been managing to hold on. So now they are going to have about 60% Uber ad, probably a bit more, still waiting on Jorge to come up as they are push on the mid through their valley side area, Dave.
Yeah, they are trying to move it in here through the valley. They see a couple of players, mostly at the choke, no sniper, that they have to be aware of. So, negotiate that pretty easily. They didn't even have the Uber yet, so they've been able to move into mid just off the player advantage, bully them out. They do still have 100%, so they're going to be able to move in after second of it. You can see how far back everyone is for the League of Shadows. They know it's a big advantage, and they're just putting some stinkies up, try and delay them just a little bit. Put a little bit of a fight up here, but they are going to be able to move through second off that Uber advantage, but Jorge has built up his Uber for last.
Yes. Oh, mosquito trap from Delhi. Gonna be taking down Rons, but if you're the Frenchies, you got to be happy that it wasn't anyone else. That is going to be called for Troy to go in. Going to be trying to get another pick if he possibly could. There was a kind of an alone soldier at lower left, so maybe trying to get onto him, but he's going to be taken down. So that has bought enough time for Ubers to even out. Looks like that is going to be a DWO as well, going in for a sack, but the sentry gun, a bit of an orthodox position, to be honest, from Ustream right there. I haven't seen much of this before. Is this common for them, or is this just, are you equally baffled by this, Dave, as I am?
No, this is pretty common for EU now. We've seen this sentry gun does a pretty good job denying sacks coming in, from any other entrance, and it is difficult to spam out from the close choke as well. So this is pretty standard sentry gun now for EU, and it's often combined with a pyro as well. We haven't seen too much pyro on the defense for either team thus far on either map, but particularly this map, it's more favoured. But at the moment, they're just scrapping it out on the far side.
Yes, they are trying to pressure a little bit, taking down a few players to low health. Only Delhi is going to be falling, but trading 2 for 1. A really great stop from a QB right there to deny Scar from getting through that choke, as well as the help of one of his soldiers. So that is going to be League of Shadows just falling back to their last there. Happy to stay here, just going to be stalemating it out even further. Looks like the sentry gun is coming back up as well. So gonna be interested to see what the Frenchies can try and do to break the stalemate. Looks like they are gonna send a soldier through. He gets one rocket off onto Jorge. Good stuff, but not the other one isn't connecting. The spam a bit late from the rest of his teammates. That is gonna be QB going down as well. So 2 down. I'm not sure if that was an intentional 2-man sack, but it's turned into one. So now we're going to be seeing League of Shadows. That is going to be Delhi leading. It looks like they're just going to go for a push here whatsoever. Getting some good cap time on the point and maybe trying to get the force out, but they're going to do it. They only lose Troy for it, and if they can get back to last, they won't lose anyone else. So I like that aggression. Oh, no, they do get the force. I completely missed that. The force coming out from the side of Julie. I don't think there was anyone there when they did use. Maybe I was wrong. They are going to be trying to get some space right now. They force coming out from the side of Jorge as well. I don't understand that one either. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but they are going to be using. They do get 2 on the side of Neo and QB. So all in all, not too bad for them. Looks like they are maybe gonna trying to get a bit of space. No, looks like they're just gonna be holed up in lobby, trying to send one of their soldiers through for a little bit of a play. And yeah, that is gonna be Scar going in. I don't think he's gonna be able to much of anything, but no, looks like League of Shadows are gonna be committing to the push. Troy going forward, gonna be able to find D-Well. Looks like they do have a lot of space here on the second. Alien way too far overextended, just going down as well. And this is really great stuff from the side of League of Shadows. They are just taking all space they are awarded to them. A rocket off onto Pachu. He's gone so low. He's going to have to use the Uber in exchange. Jorge doesn't quite have yet. Oh, he is going to go down. Neo falling. Actually, no, Neo going to be taking down Scar, but looks like the rest of the players from the League of Shadows just going to be walking forward with no fear in their hearts, but might be a bit of a disaster for them as they have wiped here onto mid. A great push out of 10 from them. I'm very impressed that they were able to get that far whatsoever, but the spawners from the side of the Frenchies just coming out, and that better Uber for them allowed them to clean up those League of Shadow players.
Yeah, the ones you're trying to move into last, they're nowhere near the Uber yet, so they're going to have to convert these frags pretty quick. They're committed here. Neo goes in, gets Troy. Are they going to be able to find Delhi as well? He goes quite weak there, but Alien is pressured back by Scar, doing a great job on the pocket, just jumping in. But they do still have to deal with Patchouli. Has a bit of an Uber advantage here for the Frenchies. They did such a good job in that last offensive, making making the magic happen just off the fact that Jorge didn't have that Uber, and they just negotiated perfectly. They now have 100%. They're taking it in.
They are taking it in, and they get instantly really great stuff from Alien's Spine. They get on the point. That is going to be 2-1 in favor of the Frenchies. That is the type of aggression and just kind of a very clear, focused team dynamic that you'd like to see from them to get them back into this game. Really great stuff because Jorge as well was very close to getting, I believe. So that is going to be them taking the lead in this match. They do need to win this map if they want to go on to Reckoner, as League of Shadows process pretty convincingly. We are here on the next mid, just gonna be trading spam. Once again, D-Well hiding in his cafe area. Looks like they know. Yeah, they are cleaning him up once again, so that cafe, little surprise play not working out too well for D-Well and co. So they are just gonna be sending in the soldier in for a super high bomb. Oh my god, he just destroyed. Like, really great rockets from him, but that is going to be the only thing they are going to be able to get, as the rest of the Frenchies do fall on that mid.
Yeah, very risky mid with going for the hiding Roma while you do the rotation as well. If the Roma gets picked up early, like that happens, it's very, very difficult. And the spawn camp is already up here for League of Shadows, trying to break it with a pyro, but so many players in spawn. Mid cap has come in second, is not close, and there is a push out here, and there is a big drop. Oh my god, Jorge going down. I think it was actually a reflect rocket there. Not what you want to see from the side of League of Shadows. They just stayed way, way too long, way too close. And Jorge wasn't able to pop, wasn't expecting the reflect rocket to come in. And they get punished for it.
Yes, really great stuff and a bit of a spectacular play there. Looks like League of Shadows going to be trying to contest this a little bit, but Jorge is a bit disconnected, finally going to be meeting up with Scar, like standing a little bit too close in choke, and is going to be taken down. So now we see the Frenchies going to be trying to barrel their way through choke right now. Neo getting a nice early pick and just gonna be forcing players off. That is gonna be Troy just doing everything he can to escape off of that bell tower from mid, and they still, the Ubers are in the favor of the Frenchies, and they know it, and they are the pedal to the metal, walking straight through choke, and they looks like they're just gonna be able to take all of this for free without having to use Uber, as everyone else in the League of Shadows so far back. We do have a heavy respawn right now. That is gonna be QB forcing him to respawn, and now pretty bad standing for the League of Shadows right now. They don't have a lot of players to hold. They don't even have it right now. Jorge finally getting that bandy bond off. That was pretty close, as that soldier bombed in. Ron's doing a lot, but Uber used, and it's not going to be enough. They get on the cap really early. It's going to be another win for the side of the Frenchies, taking this 3-1.
Yeah, the Frenchies suddenly have put the accelerator on, found a little bit of a va-va-voom, but you know, just well played. It was, I think, costly there. Justy trying to go for a heavy play in forward spawn. No players have really walked around it too much. Those super aware, they cleaned it up, and you know, losing a player for the defense made it very, very easy for them to walk in. But certainly well punished here from the Frenchies.
Yes, as we are on this next mid fight, a huge soldier bombing in from Scar coming out, and that is gonna be Neo and D-Well going down right now. Alien going down as well to Deli, hitting some nice stickies across the map. It's just gonna be Patchouli and QB alive. Only Patchouli can he escape. Yeah, I don't think it is gonna be possible. Unfortunately, did try to go for the Uber saw to maybe try and get Uber to escape back to his last, but that's not gonna happen. And that is a very clean mid win for the side of League of Shadows. And they yeah, what went wrong for the Frenchies there?
Well, it looked really, really good for them. They cleaned up enough frags, but then they just all bunched up, and Deli just going forward again with one of his scouts. It was Justy this time. They just commit, they shoot the same thing, and Deli, I think with a single sticky, must have done 100 damage to everyone. It was just an absolute nuke as they were bunched up, and it was absolutely decisive.
D-Well is on the spy. I don't think he's going to be able to keep position in time, as the Uber is used from the League of Shadows almost immediately through this right side area. Going to be taking down the gun instantly, and they just going to be trying to go for the frags on the Frenchies right now. Good damage right now. Oh my god, D-Well tried to do his best to get a pick, but I don't think it didn't happen. And that is a lot of Captain on the plane. Basically everyone from the side was on the point right there, and a very clean round, basically a mid to last for the League of Shadows, gonna be making it 3-2. And they you know, I kind of like the idea of a split. In those scenarios, you really got to be quick on it, otherwise that Uber is just gonna put you out of position.
Yeah, depressing to see just all the players running away from the spy, desperately going for a stab, and then ended up having to pull out the gun, but you're not going to pistol down a fully buffed demo at the end of that, so the spy play not working out, and, back to 3-2 now.
Yes, back to 3-2. Looks like both teams just going to be rotating once again. Scar going to be having to jump to his team. Oh, Yustri going down very low, and he is going to be taking down Deli as well. So now it looks like the Frenchies have a bit better player at end this mid. Can the League of Shadows escape? Looks like the Frenchies should try and chase us down. Yeah, they are going to be running through. The demo is bombing forward. Going to be trying to see if they can get onto any of the escaping plays. They are going to be exiting through dungeon. I think that is going to be all of them managing to get out. Oh no, looks like they might be trying to come back in through dungeon. Maybe going to try and take the Uber exchange. They are going to do it, trying to collapse onto a point right now. They do take down Ron's. They do force the Uber out on the side of Patchouli just to save all of those players. They only lose 1 forward, so honestly, too bad for them. If they can get control of the second point right now, looks like everyone on the side of Frenchies is going to be trying to fight this. Good damage coming out on the side of the League of Shadows. They are all so low right now. Oh, that is going to be Scar going down as well as Deli. Oh no, Scar, he's still alive on 7 HP. Can he get out? No, he's not going to be able to. So now the League of Shadows on the back, but they are going to be able to take down D-Well for their troubles. So that's not going to stem the aggression coming from the Frenchies. They're just barreling through this left side area. Going to be trying to get a bit of, but honestly, looks like the League of Shadows have the players and the damage to able to deny them. And Ubers are basically even. I think the League of Shadows might peak this, but I'd be so impressed if they actually commit for it. It looks like they are going to commit it. It looks like the soldiers coming out on the patch lead can connect the rockets. No, it's not going to happen. 2 going down. Attempt of a med death right there. Patchouli couldn't even use if he wanted to. So that is going to be once again for Frenchies coming back in this time. They do get the force on the Jorge. It's only Jorge and Flick alive. That much they can do, and they are. That is going to be Frenchies rotating to the other side, getting a lot of early captain. They probably won't even have to use. Going to use 4 logs, and that is going to be up 2. I like that play from the side of the League of Shadows to try and defend that second, but it didn't really work out in their favor, Dave.
Yeah, it was obviously, it would have worked against a lesser team, I think, but just both these teams have played at such a high level. They did commit, they did get all 6 plays in that fight, but the heals were so far forward by Patchouli, I think it caught them by surprise. They expected the medic to be playing a little bit more passive back on mid, and with the heals up, it was very easy for the Frenchies just to get the Uber and win that fight, and that ended up proving pretty decisive.
Yes, it did. As we now on to the 7th, maybe 6th mid fight. Regardless, whatever it is, if you're the League of Shadows, you really start getting some of those mid to last. Only 5 minutes left on the clock. Definitely doable for them, but they have really got to counter this Frenchie's aggression that we've seen. Both teams just trading spam across the point. Neo finally getting a pick out onto Deli, just going to be spamming him down. Looks like D-Well is in their valley, maybe trying to go for a flank play, but with the way things have been going, the Ubers have been used. It's been such a long mid fight, but it's been much better for the side of the Frenchies. Going to be trying to chase down these escaping League of Shadow players. Looks like they are going to be able to successfully get out, and there's no Uber to use, so they can't really defend second that heavily. So once again, much better mid for the side of the Frenchies. They've been having a bit more success on those mids and definitely on their last pushes so far in this game.
Yeah, they're trying to take it in already, but they do get stuff. Duo landing on the combo as they try and walk into the low area. Now, surely they can't muster it. They actually do just off a single pick, and not too much damage either. Nice health on the Frenchies here. They do pick up Troy as well, and I think they might lose the scout here as well. Yeah, Yusti going down to Neo, so now 3 down here for the side of the League of Shadows. Deli trying to peek choke, gets a lot of damage down onto Patchouli, but no dice in terms of getting the frag. So now 3 picks. You can see the Frenchies, they are a lot more methodical. They move it slower. They're utilizing these picks, but not diving in.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but D-Wo had a very nice skip jump onto Jorge, going to be taking him down. And any hope that maybe the League of Shadows had of baiting the Frenchies into a bad exchange have all gone out the window as Jorge goes down. Patchouli now at a solid 100% Uber ad as they cap the second, and they now have full reign to try and take this in wherever they want. Looks like they are going to be trying to go in through the left side area, just milk as long as they can. They do use gonna maybe to take down the sentry gun, trying to maybe get cap time on the point right now, and that is going to be it. 5-2 for the side of the Frenchies. Actually, no, I forgot this is Europe and you have one more round, so not over yet. Actually, no, two more rounds. I'm very new to this rule set. Excuse me, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. It is obviously win difference of 5 is the decisive thing, so still potentially a couple more rounds. But there's only a couple minutes left, so now with a 3-round lead, it is pretty much impossible. They need 3 very very quick mids, or 3 very quick mids and last pushes. So as soon as this mid fight, if Jorge was to go down, which he does go down, I think it is basically impossible. Now the Frenchies will take this map regardless of what happens at the tail end of this mid fight.
Yes, they will, as we are just in garbage time where the players going to be trying to collect their frags. Obviously, if you're the League of Shadows, ideally getting another round would rate, maybe at least for morale, but it looks like we are going to be heading towards that third map, which was pretty even last time these teams met. Looks like, however, Frenchies are just barreling forward. Going to be capping up that second point and trying to look for an opening onto last, just maybe scouting it out, trying to see what the League of Shadows have in terms of defense. Looks like they are just going to be walking in through the right side area, just getting a lot of early space, not really finding the frags, but they're getting a bit of early cap time. They are forced off of it. QB going to be taking down U-Street, Neo falling as well, and honestly not looking that good for the League of Shadows. Did lose Jorge and Yushi, but I don't think they mind. Jorge is out on the outclass, so the full off-class hijinks in effect right now. They don't really care. They know this map has lost, and they've lost it. That is going to be 6-2 for the side of the Frenchies. I think it's possible for them to get one round. I think technically possible. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but with each of these teams getting one match, how do you think Reckoner's going to go? Obviously, it was pretty even last time they played on it, but with both these teams having fairly good time on their each map picks, that definitely means it's probably going to be fairly even on Reckoner, would you say, Dave?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I mean, we've seen basically a mirror of the first map here, but in the other direction. We've had pretty close back and forth play on both sides. But it ended up being these last pushes that have been decisive. On the first map, it was certainly League of Shadows had the better of the last pushes, and crucially the last holds for them. French is really struggling to convert a lot of Uber advantage pushes they had onto last. This map, I think the Frenchies' last pushes have been much cleaner. Every time League of Shadows will have an opportunity to push last, they haven't seemed to get as much value out of the Ubers as they could have. They've just kind of walked in, got an Uber towards the point, but obviously, if players Ubered, you can't cap the point, so trying to focus cap time and not getting as much space as they could with the Uber has not really worked for them on this map, and the Frenchies just got much better Ubers into last, got a lot more space with them, and were able to convert rounds off the back of that, of what has otherwise been pretty even Stevens on the rest of the map.
Yeah, it really does seem like whichever team has the better last push has been able to walk away, or maybe which team has the better last fence, another way of putting it. But regardless, that is going to be a 6-2 victory for the side of the Frenchies. Each team won. Currently tied, leading us to Reckoner. I guess we are going to get the logs up on the screen fairly shortly for y'all. But I do agree that whoever wins these mids and the last pushes is going to walk away with a Reckoner, obviously single elim. So whoever wins this is going on, I believe, to semifinals. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then the other team is going to be eliminated. So no double elimination for them. So a lot on the line on this last map for both of these teams if they want to continue their playoffs aspirations and dreams. We do have the logs up, and they can be taking a quick look at them. And I think what I remembered last time, we didn't comment on it, but the med def disparity was pretty great. This time a bit more even, but yeah, Delhi hitting that nice 373, just pumping out that damage. Even if his team didn't win, he was certainly doing his job, just collecting that damage, farming the Frenchies, so to speak. Ron's on his team going to be top damage at 306. 7. And then as far as skills, KD goes, the scouts obviously having a really great time. QB and Neo at 28 and 11 and 26 and 12 respectively. So it kind of says that maybe, the damage output from Delhi wasn't being cleaned up on from the rest of his teammates.
That's definitely one factor. I think the other thing you have to look at is the disparity for Scar between the two maps. I think he was perhaps the best performer on Process. He ended up going positive, which isn't always easy to do with Soldier on Process. This map ends up 9 for 27. Whether it's a case of him not having the best map in that case, or just simply Neo and QB stepping it up, denying him a lot better, and playing a bit more together, they end up getting the better of the scout combo this time, getting a lot more frags than they did on the first map. So maybe it's just a case of Neo and QB really, really stepping it up and it making it a lot much harder for Scar.
Yeah, definitely soldiers may be getting a bit denied. And but now we are on Reckoner, and in NA we've only been playing Reckoner for 1 season. So it's very new to us, obviously, and you've been played for a lot longer. Would you classify Reckoner as a soldier map, or do you think it's kind of more similar to Process? And it's kind of, it's a bit more open, it's a bit larger, so definitely much more of a scout's playground to work with. So we could see QB and maybe Neo kind of walk away with things, so to speak.
I definitely think the mid fight is pretty scout favored. Soldiers can do some stuff. There's certainly a lot of value you can have on cargo. I think on second and towards the rollout area as well. There's a lot of good stuff for soldier. It's not exactly a hated map for soldiers, but generally I'd say more of a scout map. But I think this is an interesting map for us to play last because, as you say, hasn't been around. I mean, it's been around a while, but it hasn't been played all the time consistently in EU. So it's a bit of a new map. But the players that do like to play this is actually the French mixes. So with so many of these kind of French bug teams, they just always seem to like this map. It's been a meme in the community for quite a while. So based on that, you'd have to say the Frenchies, because of how many mixes they play together on this map, perhaps might feel they have a slight edge. But as we say, it's been very, very close so far.
Yeah, I mean, you got to assume that the League of Shadows have some type of confidence, considering they already played them on this map and they let it get to this far in the map pick ban process. But we will see how they truly feel. Oh no, we don't go live. Looks like they readied up. It was a little bit of a bait. I thought we were going live there. Players and teams just baiting us. But yeah, I do agree that I guess by that standard, it would be a bit better for, the team who's probably played this a bit more, would have the advantage. I guess in that case, it is the Frenchies. But are there from what you remember from the last time these teams played, were there any particular strategies that they employed, or did they favor like certain pushes or like certain play styles, or was it just more kind of just typical standard TF2 from each of them?
I don't really remember how they didn't play on this map. They played on Process. So
Ah.
I don't think these guys have played this map for a few weeks now. So we'll have to wait and see whether it's a case of one of these teams really prefers it. From what I remember, nothing really stood out to me in terms of one of these teams really liking this map or not. So I think, as you say, it's just going to be a case of who's better on the day, and particularly who has the better last pushes.
Yeah, well, definitely. The momentum probably in the favor of the Frenchies. We've been looking hot, especially with their mids wins and last pushes. If they can have some really solid defenses they had last time. I think there were a few missed last pushes from the side of the League of Shadows where they had like 100% Uber and it just didn't work out. But we are going live for real this time. This is map 3 of League of Shadows versus the Frenchies. Each team won their respective map picks, so we are now here on Rec. Gonna be watching the demo Alien as he goes for his rollout. Looks like he is gonna be going for that left side. Just gonna be taking spam across the point, getting a bit of in return from the other demo, but the scout's so aggressive onto Delhi, gonna be taken down instantly in this Jorge as well. The aggression from the side of the Frenchies just gonna be taking down all of those. Scar going down as well. That's gonna be a kill from Patch with the crossbow. Really great stuff from him. Neo as well gonna be taking down Troy, and that's basically a wipe. of everyone on the side of the League of Shadows right now. Really great stuff from the Frenchies to instantly just collapse onto Deli. It was basically just got to mid and he died, so pretty unfortunate for him. But looks like that should be enough for the Frenchies to get on to second here for taking the space awarded to them. Looks like the League of Shadows is going to be trying to deny them as much as possible. Oh, looks like a bit of action over here in this cargo side area. No, that is going to be Duo heading back to safety. The Frenchies don't want to give this up. They know they want to try and get it without having to use it, so they can use it here on last. They are going to be able to get that second point, and now they are going to be trying to go in for a last push, Dave.
Yeah, they've got to kind of move on though, because Jorge is up to 90%. I don't know if they're just, slowing it down, I think they decided better of it. They respect the fact that Jorge is very, very close to that Uber, so not going to, go for a desperate last push attempt, knowing how, that Jorge is probably going to get that Uber in time. So, good job from League of Shadows. They got absolutely shell-shocked on that mid. Seeing Ron's actually jump in. He picks up Troy, gets a lot of damage, and Duo comes in for the scissor as well. Both soldiers converging beautifully, getting a lot of frags there. With 3 down now, League of Shadows 3 down on the side of the Frenchies as well. It's just a scout, a medic, and a little engineer building up a level 1 sentry gun at the moment. It will probably be enough to scrap out the hold for now. They're not. Well, they're going to go in for a force here. Alien Smiley jumping in kind of alley style, but the sentry gun does pick him up. He didn't quite get enough height on it, I don't think.
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting play. It didn't quite work out for Alien, but you got to you got to at least give a little bit of respect to the attempt. But that is going to be enough for Frenchies to hold on to their lobby area. They do have a sniper up in QB. Is Sniper particularly good at breaking these stalemates? I guess not. Or maybe just Eustace just a bit better, as instantly QB does go down in that little Sniper v Sniper exchange. So it's going to be interesting to see if he comes back up onto it.
Yeah, they're peeking forward here with the Sniper. They do have the gun on last. Ron's has been able to sneak his way in behind.
Oh, he's in from behind! Sorry, he does get the Uber force out on to a Pacioli. Really great stuff from him. And 2 as well of the Frenchie players going down. Jorge uses the Uber as well, but it's much for them. Going to be able to get second. Probably just going to stalemate this time, second to mid. But a lot better for League of Shadows. At least you're not on your last. All the players switching for the off classes. And yeah, looks like it's probably going to head into another stalemate. Troy just got in there through that lower side area completely for free. And Pacioli heads a bit unfortunate for the Frenchies, but good if you're the League of Shadows there, Dave.
Yeah, while that was happening, both the French soldiers got in on the medic at the same time. They were able to get the force out, but obviously Troy managed to get out after his force attempt. Both the Frenchies soldiers committed, so with that couple of frags, they're able to move at least into second off it. Now, Duo going for a little bit of a sack, not getting anything down really onto Jorge, but off a pick we can see League of Shadows, they don't put the brakes on very much at all. They're already moving to cargo, get a lot of damage down on today, will get arrowed up to reasonable health, but while they want to fight it with the player advantage they have, they don't think they really have the health to take it into mid.
Yeah, they don't. It was a good attempt, a good little peeking and prod into action going in there, but no one is going to see, this traps going up by cargo just to deny any of those flying soldiers going through there. Looks like they are just peeking it a little bit, trading spam through that area, trying to deny the stickies right there is Alien, maybe to make space for one of the sackers to go through there. Actually taking a lot of ground. Yeah, that is going to be enough for the soldier to fly in there. He is going to be basically denied, but QB in the backline is going to be taking down Deli and Scar. Really great stuff from them, completely unnoticed, and he does get those 2 very crucial picks, as it looks like they are going to be rotating through Toxic to try and take this in. Alien getting denied, though. That is going to be the scout from lower, going to be distracting enough for the rest of his team to try and get in through Toxic, but the Uber was used right now, going to be trying to get onto them. My game is lagging a bit much, but the Uber is also used from the side of the Frenchies right now. They do eventually use, but it's a lot better for them, at least trying to get onto the second. Flick is trying to escape for the rest of his team, trying to keep Jorge alive, are going to be able to do it. And a pretty good push for the side of the Frenchies. Obviously, they didn't want to have to use that. They do end up doing so. Looks like they are just going to barrel forward without any thought. Going to be trying to get some early cap time, at least going to be the threat of it, but they aren't going to be able to get any players whatsoever. Troy is going to die, but that's 2 for 1. And actually, no, make that 3 for 1, as you see on that heavy whip, just cleaning up all of those overextended players trying to escape. And a lot better for this League of Shadows, as they are going to push here onto second.
Yeah, interesting attempt there by the Frenchies. I certainly like the idea, but League of Shadows were up to snuff. They had the heavy weapons guy, which is the crucial class. If you have that heavy weapons guy, any attempt at a dry push is 10 times harder for the opposition. There's just too much health to deal with without Uber in hand. So heavy coming up crucial. They didn't lose any frags on the flank as well. They're just nicely blobbed up around the medic. So as good a defense, whether it's luck or just good kind of standards and defaults, they were in a perfect position to deny that dry push.
Yes, as that's bombing through, he is going to be going for a little backlines play. Is Ron's QB, however, dying by cargo. Actually, no, that's going to be 2 Rons as well dying, and so now they have to back up. They are 2 down. Everyone on the side of League of Shadows just getting in through lower. Looks like Alien and the. Looks like they want to try and go for a wrap play through click. They got to get on the point quickly if they want any chance of denying this. They do have all 4 on the cap, so that is forcing everyone on the League of Shadows to come back and fight this. There is use of Frenchies use and response of an exchange here on the second. Really great job from them, and they looks like they are going to be trying to escape through Toxic. They are going to be able to meet back up with the respawner, and Ron's Neo is going to go down, but it looks like everyone She's maybe trying to get back in here. Ron's does go down. Not before getting Jorge, so really great job. If they can keep Patchouli alive, looks like Patchouli a little bit disconnected. All that scout didn't commit onto him, but they are going to be able to get all the rest of the Frenchie players, so it doesn't really matter. Patchouli is going to have to escape with QB. They're just sent all the way back to their second. They do have the Resp, Neo, and Co. to block anyone else from the League of Shadows going forward, but really great stuff from the League of Shadows to make sure they still got that mid. However, as we do see, oh my god, Scar getting a nice pick out onto Neo. Looks like League of Shadows is going to be able to hold that out from the side of the Frenchies. So once again, really great stuff from the League of Shadows. It looked like they may have been pushed back to their last, but they were able to turn the tides in their favor and make sure they got that midpoint, Dave.
Yeah, there is still a slight advantage here for the Frenchies, whether they're aware of it, that it's actually a lot closer than perhaps it could have been. I think Jorge just doing a very, very good job of building. They're going to try and move in through lower, but Jorge's at 95% already.
Yeah, it looks like they might not know that it is as close as it is. League of Shadows just going in regardless. They don't care. They get 2 picks for their troubles, so pretty good so far. They might be able to get another Neo going down. For Scout, a QB as well going to be taken down. Alien Smiley getting Jorge, but honestly, only 2 up. They should at least try and commit for the force. They do get the force, so now it's just going to be whether they can block enough of the respawns to come out. They do have both soldiers up to defend this last point. That is going to be D-Wo and Alien and Ron all getting picks of their own, so now it's just Ustri and Scar alive. Scar in a little hidey hole position. He isn't going to be able to find anything, so a bit unfortunate for the League of Shadows as soon as Jorge died. I do agree with going for the Uber force out onto Patchouli. That's what you need to do, but regardless, that could have been a last push. A bit unfortunate that they weren't converted there, Dave.
Yeah, I think they did everything they could, but spawners came up just in time for the Frenchies, and they found the shots at the tail end of that as the Uber was just about fading. See, actually, the Frenchies muscle themselves into mid, get a lot of frags down, but Troy does a great job, jumps in, gets Neo, jumps out as well, jumping back in onto the combat, and he nukes Patchouli down. That
was really great stuff from Troy. I don't know how they let him live there, but still, that is the type of playmaking you want to see. As now, League of Shadows going for a little bit of a back cap, I would say. Yeah, it looks like it is just Ustri in behind in that lower side area, going to be trying to dance and juke and dodge. He is going to eventually go down to QB, but that is going to be an escaping Rod, just dying to an errant pipe from Delhi. So a bit of just, kills flying each way. That is going to be another trade, Troy for Flick, as it looks like both teams are just going to be trying to get back together as we do see League of Shadows going to be pushing in through the toxic side area. They do have 100% Uber to work with, so now this is going to be looking like a really good last push attempt for them as they don't drop Jorge yet again in lobby.
Yeah, soldiers for scouts trade there would have otherwise been good, but for the fact there's a big advantage here for Hue, it's slowed them down a little bit. It's been able to means they've been able to get the NG with the sentry gun up, and they've also got Neo up on the sniper as well. So looking for a crucial drop, perhaps with a headshot.
Yes, they are. VA actually taking a bit of time, the League of Shadows. They do send Deli in for a SAG. Yushi as well. They're just trying to go for an Uber Force play. Maybe they didn't realize how much Uber ad they had. I mean, at that point, it had evened out, but they definitely could have put the pedal to metal a bit quicker, but do slow things down. Ronz is going to be making space for his team, allowing them to go through that rollout area without having to use, and it looks like if they can clean up these ultra flags, this should be good for the side of the Frenchies. They are going to have to use in response to the Uber from the League of Shadows. Looks like that is going to be one of the soldiers trying to go for a wrap play on them. He isn't going to be able to find much at all. Neo is going to be the thing that Scar does find. Scar going down as well, and this is much better for the Frenchies. Looks like the League of Shadows were hesitant there. Looks like they're split of whether they're going to go for maybe a wrap play through Shutter or just going to be fight them by a rollout. But at the end, that decision cost them.
That was actually nuts. I mean, there was an Uber trade. You can see it was a slightly better trade for the Frenchies, but they were backing up to last. Scar gets in behind. He launches Patchouli back into his team, but his team had scattered back. They were retreating as well, so Patchouli surfs into the second with only League of Shadows players around him, but manages to strafe out to Shutter and safety, while League of Shadows weren't expecting a flying medic to come in, and that was absolutely crucial for the Frenchies to hold on there.
So, but really great surfs from the side of Patchouli to make sure that they still have 100% Uber. Ubers are even right now, so this is going to be another little stalemate, obviously. Both teams happy that, you know, they haven't lost a round, but still almost about halfway through this map are, and definitely very, very even. We do see a soldier flying in through Toxic. That is going to be Troy. He does manage to get not even any damage off onto the medic, so pretty unsuccessful for him. That is going to be Deli getting a pick out onto Ronz. So 2-for-1 trades going each way. That is going to be enough for the Frenchies to try and in through a lower here. But on the other side, looks like the League of Shadows just going to be taking that opportunity to go through a Toxic. Now they are going to be trying to get on. They have so much cap time on the point right now. Can Neo survive? It looks like they are going to be able to get this point. So really great stuff for them. The Uber is finally used from them as they go here onto lobby. Just so much chaos, but they are getting the better hand of it right now. They are super weak, but there's no players right now on the side of the Frenchies. Just QB and his med. This should be a mid. A whole win for the side of the League of Shadows, and they are going to be able to convert it. So that is going to be the first round for the League of Shadows, going 1-0. That was just a really great wrap play for them. Heads up, just seeing that the Frenchies were trying to push through lower in cargo, and they just responded in turn.
Yeah, whether that's a set strat for them or they literally just yoinked it off their opposition who had tried to use it just a few minutes earlier. Either way, it worked super well. Looked a little bit ropey for a minute, you know, after the Ubers came out, all the Frenchies came back. The focus fire from League of Shadows was far more impressive.
It was indeed, as we are now on the second mid. Ron's instantly getting onto Deli. I think that's the second time he's died pretty early on this mid, but Patch going down to some really great aggression from Scar. Now it's just to see if they can Jorge alive. Oh no, it's only Jorge left. I don't think he is going to stay alive. Really great stuff from Neo and QB to take down those two scouts that were guarding him. And that is going to be a full wipe on the side of League of Shadows. Only Deli now respawning on his last. So now this can be an opportunity for the Frenchies to probably take second. They did lose their med earlier in that fight, so they are going to have maybe a tiny bit of Uber ad. I doubt they're going to do anything with it, but good stuff for them to win that mid fight and get back here on this map.
Yeah, that is only the second mid fight, but they've both gone the same way with, you know, the Frenchies just immediately jumping into the League of Shadows combo, Deli and Jorge getting caught up with a lot of pressure. Lots of players, the scouts coming across the point, QB and Neo, and you know, a lot of damage from Alien as well. Just so much pressure just into the combo at the same time. At the moment, it's just catching League of Shadows a bit flat-footed on those mids. but they are 1-0 up, and they did at least manage to secure the fragment of Patchouli. So, they probably don't want to go to any more mids based on those first couple, but at the moment they are at least in the lead.
Yeah, we do see Flick up on the sniper, just taking a few, little pot shots at those entering players into lobby. He doesn't manage to find anything, so he just backs up. But Sentry Gun denies that attempted bomb from the side of Dewo. He gets stuffed there up against the wall, so luckily that little shutter there is there, so he's able to get healed back up. We know that there's a sentry. Ubers are even, so they have to try and spam this down before they try and go for any other play. Gonna be interested to see how the Frenchies break that. They've got to contend with Viper and an engineer. As you can see, they're playing so carefully. As I say, that QB does fall, maybe for a sack of play, and they instantly back out of lobby. That Reckoner lobby, pretty hard to hold if you're down a player. There's just so many ways a player can, get onto you. So they do back up off onto second. They do try and push out to allow their sniper room to go for a shot, but nothing is going to happen. Ron's does fall, but he is traded out for Neo, so a bit of a kind of sack play going on there, but I do think that is not going to amount to much at all so far.
Yeah, they're not going to get the foresight, but every time the League of Shadows, they must be really scared of re-pushing back into lobby off only a slight pick, because both those soldiers do such a great job of getting the pressure down in the close quarters area. That's excellent for the rockets of the soldier class. A couple of players do sack in here from the Frenchies QB and a nice air shot there from Scar onto Neo as well. That's going to be effectively three picks now for League of Shadows, and surely they can move out to second.
Yes. They are going to be able to get through Shutter pretty cleanly without having to use, luckily for the Frenchies, they didn't lose anyone else, so they should be hold mid as well. Uber's still even as you have a cap up that second point, and it's going to be, once again, still on the Frenchies to try and break this night. They are down. It is 1 up for the side of the League of Shadows, and with only, 13 minutes left on the clock, that is a lot of time. The way that lap went, was pretty long, about maybe 14, so you gotta wonder if how much time they really have. It looks like they are gonna be sending in a soldier tag. It's gonna be a double with the scout going for the distraction play. They do manage to find down Deli, but soldier as well. It's a 3-man, essentially. The scout is still alive in behind, but it looks like he's bought enough room for the rest of his team to peek through Karga, and they're getting a lot of space here, Dave. Looks like Troy is gonna have to back off. He was in that kind of vent area, and he does back off. He was super weak right there. Didn't want to have to lose and give up or ground, but Uber is used, but the counter Uber is also used from the side of the Frenchies. Looks like they are kind of giving up space right now to this aggression from the side of Aliga. Maybe going to be trying to find Patcholi. Oh, he does surf that bomb from Star and Troy. So both soldiers down on the side of Elite, and now they are going to have to back up. Flick getting 2 nice picks. It's only him. I actually know it's only Houston and Deli alive, though. Much better for the side of the Frenchies, and this should be a cap up for them. Actually, no. Yeah, this should be a cap up for them. There's only 2 players that they need to get through. They are going to be able to take down Yui, and that is going to be a tie game.
That was excellent discipline there from the French combo, particularly Ellie and Smiley. They knew the fact that, Scar was in the back lines, just playing jump maps, creating havoc, and, he lived an awful long time, but they just had complete faith in the soldiers and the flank to come in for the Frenchies, clean up that soldier in behind. They could just commit themselves to looking forward. They tried to take it in League of Shadows off the destruction that Scar created, but just great discipline from Alien. Particularly, they secured it because they didn't turn around.
Once again, you saw them try to get onto Deli. Deli, he's so weak here. Oh my god, T-Well, he actually gets 2 with that rocket. He gets flicked, and that was really great stuff. It looked like Deli might have been able to live that mid as the first soldier didn't connect the damage, but the second soldier coming off a nice pipe as well from Alien, gonna be taking down Yustri. And nonetheless, regardless of what else happens, the Frenchies having these mids on log, unfortunately for Deli, not being able to live through a single one of them. I mean, admittedly, the last few times his team has wiped alongside with him, so you can't really blame him wholeheartedly, but he has been early on these mids. And so now you see the Frenchies 100% Uber. Jorge is still pretty close, so things are going to even out. He was able to live there, unlike last time. So now is going to be on the Frenchies to try and break the stalemate. Looks like Arch is going to be peeking this right side area. Ron's in a little bit battle with a Deli and Troy. Troy going to be taking the upper hand of that. So they are going to back out of lobby. They have a bit of time to work here. 10 minutes exactly on the clock. But, if you're the League of Shadows, you got to be starting to go for maybe a bit more riskier plays. As we do see Troy Oh, he looked like he was gonna go through lower, but he did get spotted, so he is gonna be able to try and get out. He's super weak right now, allowing Raul Al Ghul to peek from a shutter area. He doesn't find anything. That was Flick, but he doesn't find anything, so he's gonna back up, and we are still in a stalemate here, Dave.
Sometimes it feels like League of Shadows they're playing this map as if it's a previous version. There is this new door. It's been around for a while now. It's been around, I think, over a year. So they should be aware of it. But every time they push out into lobby, either Duo or Rod is able to get in through this new end and flank. Like, it's frequently getting in behind the League of Shadows combo, either the medic or the demo, and hasn't proved absolutely pivotal so far, but it does. I do really fear every time I see one of the soldiers is getting so cleanly. No one at the moment is watching it.
Yeah, no one is currently at the moment, but they don't have to worry so far. They're not trying to push out. This is going to be on the Frenchies to try and do something. Maybe we'll see another attempted sniper. Last one didn't work out too well for the attacking team, but maybe this time something different can happen. It actually looks like they're pretty far back. They've given up the area. Maybe they expected something from the League of Shadows, or maybe they're just trying to go for a bait play. Actually, no, they knew there was a sniper there. I didn't even know. Good thing I'm not on that team, as Flick does get a nice headshot off onto Ronz, who was peeking into that lobby area. That is going to be enough for them to set up a few cheeky sticky traps. Oh my god, a nice pipe coming out from Deli out onto a Duo. Going to be bombing in. That is going to be Flick cleaning him up. Looks like two soldiers. No, the soldier and demo walking through lower. That is going to be getting some good damage on the point. Just flying sky high right now. He's going to be taken down. But, QB as well going to be getting that shot. Raul Goose just eking that shutter side area. Flick playing with fire right there, knowing that the soldier was right there, but he doesn't get punished for it. So at the end of the day, we're still in that stalemate day.
I don't know if that was on stream, but that was an insane skybox airshot from Alien onto Troy there. Beautiful stuff. That's definitely one for the beta frag video. Get your submissions in, but that will definitely be there.
Really great stuff to see from all of these players right now. That those kind of making moments, regardless of whether it amounts to anything else in the match. It's just always great to see a nice air shot. As we wait to see what the Frenchies try and do. They do have a sniper of their own now. QB is up on it. He is just going to be peeking kind of right side, getting a shot off onto Flick, or maybe the soldiers. He does try it and he does miss. Unfortunately, he is going to be peeking the other side. Neo on the other hand is going to be getting up onto Deli, so a demo down for the side of a League of Shadows could be something for the Frenchies to work with. Yeah, it looks like they are going to be pressuring this left side area. Just going to be taking a fight with right now. He's so weak. Oh my god. UC on the engineer is going to be picking out Ronz, but Ronz is going to be able to take down Troy. So a soldier for a soldier, pretty unsubstantial as these things go. But the sack is going to come out and is going to get the force. But they do lose two in the process. Flick is going to be taking down a demo as well as Duel. So we might see a push out here from the side of League of Shadows. They are peeking it a little bit. It's just going to be a battle to see whether or not they're going to be able to give up the second point, or the Uber comes in from the Frenchies.
Yeah, just beautiful little sack there from Duo. I don't know if they knew exactly where, if he knew exactly where Jorge was going to be holding. I don't think he's been holding in that kind of corner too much, but just had a sixth sense for where it was, finds him perfectly, and now they have 100% to push last.
Yeah, so they are going to be walking forward. They do use the Uber pretty immediately. They still haven't taken down the sentry gun. Finally, they do. Now going to be walking across the point. The meetup with his soldiers is going to be getting a nice pipe up on the Tron. They have so much cap time. They are going to cap it up, and that's going to be 2-1. Really great stuff from the Frenchies. And right now, there's only basically 6 minutes left on the clock. If you're the League of Shadows, you've got to start winning these mid fights, especially because, regardless of how good your last holds are, your second holds, winning these mids have been putting them at a continuous disadvantage. So it looks like now we do see Deli rolling out through cargo right now. Just going to be meeting up with the rest of his team a bit more kind of blobbed up, so to speak. So no immediate aggression. Actually, did I say that Ron's trying to go for it? Yet again, he does get one rocket, not enough damage to take him down. Yushi is going to win that fight with Ron's and their cargo. So instantly looking a lot better for the League, as they are going to be pushing forward. QB is going to be backing up, and no one else goes down on the side of the Frenchies. But the League, it doesn't matter to them. They're pushing through Cargo, or no, Toxic right now, going super far forward. Going to be trying to get onto the Omad, but a flank from Scar going to be taking down Patchouli and Alien. Duo going down as well. It's now just Rons and QB. They do get the force out, but I don't know if it's going to matter, as we're still waiting on the respawners right now for the side of the Frenchies. We already have a player on the cap, and yeah, that's going to be an instant round, tying it up 2-2. Really great stuff for them as soon as they got their mids back in their favor. The League just showing why it's been so close so far in this game, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a case of the previous aggressive mid from League of Shadows kind of psyched the Frenchies out. They're expecting more aggression, and this time it just didn't come. This time the Frenchies struggled to get aggression going, and League of Shadows finally win a first mid, and brilliant conversion off the back of it, just Scar cutting off the escape of the medic and it being pivotal.
Yeah, we see the instant soldier bombs coming out here onto Jorge. They do manage to get him, but it's just going to be whether they can keep anyone else alive. Team, it is just Alien right now. Oh my god, he does get a nice pipe onto UC. Looks like he might even be trying to take that fight against a Flick and Del. He definitely could if he wanted to, but no, he is just gonna back out. Actually, no, he's gonna rotate over to Cargo. They might not know he's there, maybe waiting for a few respawners. Now he's just gonna sit pretty on second with now Duo here to help him. Looks like they are gonna be trying to set up for a second defense. Both did go down there, so Ubers are gonna be even. 3 minutes left on the clock right now, though.
Yeah, that mid fight looked very ropey with Jorge going down so early again, but it just all came down to Troy just launched himself in, lands on top of the combo in the toxic area. One rocket kills Patchouli, one rocket ends up finishing up Neo, and then he manages to get the health back as well, so he gets a little bit more damage down and pushes Alien out of the fight as well. So just all on Troy, that mid fight just turned it around from what looked like disaster.
Yes, we can see, looks like the League gonna be a kind of pushing this lower side area, maybe trying to be a bit of a distraction for one of their players to do something, as you see a little bit of a play coming out from Toxic, but nothing big amounts to anything, or nothing, so they are just gonna go back to their positions as they have now rotated up to Cargo. Looks like Ron's peeking lower fairly aggressively with Duo to back him up. The soldiers, the Frenchies just peeking it, but we do see Troy on the other side of things going in for an attempt onto Patchouli, but it doesn't connect. So that is just going to be a sack play. We might see a response sack play from the side of Frenchies. Yeah, it looks like Duo and his scout combo, or his scout buddy, are going to be in that toxic area. Not really finding much of anything, so they are just going to back out, just happy to keep themselves alive, as only 2 minutes left right now. So you got to start to wonder, if you're the Frenchies, like, is it still worth it, or are you just going to make sure that you don't lose, you know?
Yeah, they definitely don't want to go for a risky play with the one pick, but the risky play is coming out here from League of Shadows. They're running through low, and Rons goes in, gets a lot of damage out of the combo. The Force does come in, but they lose Alien Smiley Foot. They're going to try and back up for last. Duo is on the spy class as well, which is not ideal for them to take a scrappy, messy fight. He gets cleaned up as well, so now there's a big player advantage here for the League of Shadows. They're going to get the Force out very, very easily by just looking at them menacingly.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you know, they're evil. You know, they're scary, so to speak. I think Rallo Ghoul's like a wizard or something. Whatever it is, this is going to be Uber ad for the side of League of Shadows, because they used first. So good job from them to manufacture that Uber ad in a previously even scenario. So now this could be make or break for them. There's only 50 seconds left on the clock. If they win this right now, there's no way Frenchies are gonna be able to come back in here. So it's kind of do or die if they don't want to go to a golden cap. Looks like they are going to be walking forward. They do use their Uber, trying to take down the sentry gun immediately, hopefully going to get some cap time on the point. Yeah, that is Flick, but he gets taken down instantly from Bronze, bombing him, just knowing what's happening. Some cap time, that is still going to be trying to on the point right now, but the heavy coming out, and that's going to be a full wipe from the League of Shadows. The Frenchies being able to hold on to their last point, and I think are going to be going into a golden cap here, Dave.
Oh yeah, they just couldn't quite get in. couldn't get enough space. Last disparate attempt from Flick. He's got 10 seconds to run in and cap 2 points, so I don't quite think that's going to happen. Couple of frags cleaned up, but yeah, the timer is now run its course, so they couldn't quite convert it. We are into a map 3 and now into a golden cap, so as close can be.
This is extremely close, as a definitely showing these teams are both desperately trying to go on to that next round of this playoffs for EF2L, and just putting everything they've got. Everyone's been playing pretty well so far, at least from what I can see. I don't think anyone's been dropping the ball, so to speak. Maybe Delhi on these mids, but at some point, you're a demo. There's only so much you can do if everyone on the other team's just trying to kill you at mid. So regardless, I think super even stuff, and I do think we have a lot of logs on screen for everyone to take a look at. And yeah, fairly even across the board as far as go. Obviously, Delhi going to be rocking that near 300 DPM. Good stuff from him. Going to be Ron close behind him at 283. Basically almost all the soldiers having a pretty good time as far as damage goes. And then as far as your kind of KDs, your kills, it is going to be Flick and the scout combo of a was that League of Shadows right there. Flick and Yusti doing well, 24-11 and 20-9. So they're having a pretty good game. Basically everyone is medics pretty even on the deaths. But what do you think is going to be that clinches it for either team as we go into this gap here, Dave?
I think a crucial thing could be obviously the mid-fight. Mid-fights have generally been going the side of the Frenchies. I mean, that last one was basically even Stevens. It couldn't really have been any closer than it was. And it looks like maybe the League of Shadows had worked out something towards the end for the mid-fights, but certainly the first couple were very decisive for the Frenchies. And when they did go aggressive, it pretty much always worked for them. At the moment, League of Shadows haven't worked out a way to deny those soldier bombs, so I think, with it just being that one round, that one mid-fight could be absolutely pivotal. So, you got to hope they either come up with something different or they find a way to deny those soldier bombs on the mid.
Definitely, yeah. Those soldier bombs have been pretty devastating for the side of the League of Shadows, just losing Delhi. As you said, they did kind of adapt that one time, allowing them to tie things up. But we are gonna go live here in this Golden Cap, the last map of League of Shadows versus the Frenchies. And whoever wins this round is going to continue onwards. Whoever loses is eliminated. So a lot on the line for both of these teams. They've been playing spectacularly so far. And let's see who is just going to have that edge as we go out onto our definitely final mid right now. Just going to see if they can keep Delhi alive or if these soldier bombs from the side. Yeah, we do see Ron's going in instantly. He's just going to be going behind the... jumping up with another soldier. He's getting onto Delhi. He is going to get Delhi. So a really great start from the side of the Frenchies right now. But Yusti going in. He is going to get the other demo right now. Alien falling as well. George as well, or Jorge falling. That is just Scar and Flick alive. Scar, he is going to get a nice rocket off and is going to allow to clean up that kill onto QB. But QB, I mean, Flick is the only one alive. He's not going to be able to do much of anything else with the heals in the favor of a actually no, looks like he is going forward. He's just trying to buy as much time as he possibly can because he knows that this full Uber ad might be devastating if they allow them all the way to their second. It looks like there's not much he can do, so he's just going to be running back. Now this is going to be full Uber ad for the Frenchies to work with here.
Yeah, they're moving into second quite cleanly, but they obviously have their eyes set on last and moving through the lower area pretty sharpish as well. Alien and Neo in the combo. Ron's just getting final buffs up. We would probably want to get a buff on Duo as well, but then they're going to take it in through top left, take it away.
They are going to be taking it in through top left, taking down the sentry gun almost immediately. They have a lot of captive on the point. Soldiers bombing it, just trying to get all these Frenchy players off. The heavy weapons guy does come out, just going to clean up all these players. It's just Neo and the medic alive. Neo in the back line is living for honestly a long time, but he is going to go down, no doubt about it. That is going to be a successful hold for the League of Shadows. Luckily for them, Patcholi did live. If you're a Frenchies fan, the Uber ad is not going to be too debilitating on the side of the League of Shadows, but they are going to have a little bit I doubt they're gonna do much anything with it. They would have to be building really hard right now. Basically, no, it's probably gonna be an even stalemate. So really great stuff for them. How did they hold that?
Just all came down to Jorge getting the Uber up at a crucial moment, and the heavy weapons guy as well, just flooding in through the left side. The right spawn door was completely shut out for them, but just flooded all the defenders in from the left with the heavy weapons leading the charge. Uber coming up, crucial moment as well. So just about able to hold with it being pretty damn close.
Yes, as we see a sack attempt going forward, they are trying to send Ron's in behind. He is pretty weak, but that's just a distraction for QB and Alien to get onto Deli. They might lose Ron's, but a soldier for a demo is something you'll track. They might actually get Flick. No, Flick actually just destroys QB right there. He just two-shots him. Really great stuff from him. And now 2 down on the side of a League of Shadows. Definitely enough to work with. Are going to use their Uber, going to be trying to get out onto the Frenchies. They do force the Frenchies. So now if they can just keep Jorge, no, the pipe from Alien going to be taking down Jorge and Houston. Great stuff from him. Now the soldier coming in, Scar, he is going to be taken down from the pipes once again of Alien, coming up so clutch for his team right now. They might not be able to push in immediately depending how quickly they get these spawns for the League of Shadows, but they are definitely going to have Uber ad. Looks like Nove are going to be trying to go forward, going to be trying to take as much space they possibly can. But Nove are going to back up, and Nove have Uber at to work with, and they don't want to lose any key players that might delay that push, so they are just going to heal up, get this Uber ad, and really great stuff from the Frenchies. Really great action play to get onto Alien, and to get onto Smiley. Deli, and really great stuff from Alien to get that pipe kill onto Jorge.
Yeah, it's the Alien Smiley show right now. He had great logs, great KD in the main game as well, but now going into the Golden Cup, there's a last push. They're waiting around a little too long, do get sniped out, but they're going to take it in through the left-hand side. Get towards the point, get the sentry gun down as well. QB's trying to focus Deli down, but he does beef his shots a little bit, takes damage down from the heavy as well, so they don't quite get it going. Just waited around too long, got themselves sniped, got themselves pressured out, and it's slightly falling apart here for the Frenchies.
It is indeed, and honestly, that sniper kill onto, I think Ron's might have saved them that push, because there were a few players on the side of League of Shadows, and you might imagine if there was another soldier there to clean up on that damage, they might have fallen. But it looks like D-Wall is going for a huge pick onto Flick, right? He does drop him from the Uber, so he's not going to be a part of it, and basically forces out the Uber as well. Looks like the League of Shadows isn't going to even try to stay on mid. They're just instantly going back to second. No, they can't stay on mid, and they're probably going to have to give up second as well. Patrioli on almost 100% Uber ad. It looks like they are going to be trying to get in through Cargo right now. Just going to be trying and push all of these League of Shadow players back out. This huge soldier bomb going to be going on to Deli. He was a bit overextended there, if I do so, because he wasn't with the rest of his team, and he still hadn't gotten through Shutter, and that should be enough. It looks like for the Frenchies to go in here on the last is going to be jumping forward. They do have huge Uber at to work with. Being a lot of cap time on the point right now. They finally do use their Uber. That is going to be it, and the Frenchies win. They win the Golden Cap, and they are going to walk away with it. They do win this offs game against the League of Shadows. Really great stuff from them, and a 3-2 on Reckoner and a 2-1 as far as the series goes.
Yeah, great stuff. Well played to the Frenchies. They do clutch out in the end in the Golden Cup. Very, very close game. Very well played from both teams. A lot of good stuff. Really like to see, League of Shadows, obviously a new team. They come up with a lot of new ideas, a lot of aggressive plays, but they will just about lose out to these experienced Frenchies. They are old heads. They have, all their strats. They adapted well to a lot of the things that were thrown at them. They never really looked flux. They got on with the game, made their stuff happen, and they end up going through to what will now be the semi-finals. They will face Aura Electro.
Very exciting stuff if you're a Frenchie fan. And, regardless, as you said, League of did play excellent, especially on their map. Very dominant showing from them. And still really great stuff to keep it as close as it was. I don't know if we have the stats up for the Golden Cap. We might not, but just instantly the thing that pops out to be, we are going to have the combined logs for you, but for Golden Cap specifically, Alien doing 434 DPM, just having an absolute great little round there. Obviously going to be a bit inflated because it was only one round. Great to hit that 434 any way you can. Deli as well, still pumping out the damage. So all of the damage this whole whole entire time. I don't think you can fault for anything that's happened here so far as we wait for the combined logs. But I don't know, Dave. What do you think really cinched that for a for the Frenchies there?
I think it, we talked about the first map being the League of Shadows had the better last pushes. Second map, certainly the Frenchies had the better last pushes. This third map, I think it just came down to the mid fights. Frenchies had a little more of an idea what they were doing in the mids, and pretty much every time they went aggressive, it, it at least they got enough frags that they were in the mid fights. Whereas a lot of the mid fights for League of Shadows, they lost Delhi, they lost Jorge, and just crumbled off the back of that. So it was down to mid fights and Reckoner. These two teams are very very close. Just a couple of margins, a little bit of map differences here and there. So maybe it was a case of with both the teams playing at such a high level. I think they're both playing at more or less their best tonight. They perhaps need to step it up next week, the Frenchies, for or whatever it is for or Electro. But perhaps look at some of the maps where they'll be better on, and that's probably the main thing for them. Look at getting the correct maps. That could be crucial.
Definitely, map selection definitely crucial. As we saw, on each map, it was either tied or just very much in favor of one of the teams. So it can definitely make a difference depending on how these teams like to play. So should be interesting to see Frenchies versus Orchestra. I assume that's going to be happening sometimes next week or maybe later this week.
Yeah, probably next week, maybe the week, maybe Sunday. To be honest, we'll have to see. These teams are a bit slow scheduled at times, but with it being obviously single limb, it seems the teams want to get this done and dusted before Christmas for sure.
Yes, and that is, still really great stuff. Again, of course, huge shout outs to the League of Shadows, even though their season ended, always nice to make playoffs, and still they put off a really great showing. So you can't say they were pushovers at all. And they, just, I think we're not gonna get combined logs. I don't know how to do it, and our producer, Just Jazz, isn't logged in to Steam. So I do think that might be for us here. Unless someone else, a miracle out there, can do the combined logs for us, I think that is going to be it. Congratulations to Frenchies for a very great win. It went the distance, but they were able to clutch it out in the end. So I guess we'll go for shout outs. Dave, you have any shout outs you'd like to say?
Show sensation. That's all.
All right. I guess I will shout out Minus Rep. Shout out to Just Jazz for being a great producer. Shout out to you, Dave, for educating me on all the European plays and the team dynamics that I was not familiar with as a bear self. Shout outs to all you viewers for watching us here on TFTV. We'll continue to provide coverage of Visaya season as it plays out in the buff race. And shout outs to the players for playing in it. And thank you all, and have a good night or good day.